1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Film study. Let's talk a little bit about what you do in film study. Coach Gino DeMarco. Go ahead, sir.
Well, in its room, I've spent most of my life. We have everything here. We have film, do a lot with video. Probably more than any other sport. Not probably, definitely more than any other sport. Film analysis, video analysis, it becomes a tool for teaching. It becomes a tool for being able to evaluate, who deserve the opportunity to play. And then you sit down and it's part of the game planning. I mean, hours upon hours. And I know people are thinking that we're back here watching movies or something like that. No, we're all about film study, and there's a reason for it.
Technology's come a long way, hasn't it? Since you and I were young lads.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, the very first job I had, playing. We all remember having the video, not the video, but the reel-to-reel
Super 8 and
Super
8 millimeter.
But I remember the first job in splicing it together. Like you would have to cut the film, then splice stuff together to be able to get. Oh, it took us. That was what we did, this is going back, 38 years ago, whatever it was. The time. But that was a big deal. So that if you can get all those plays that were the same formation on one reel, then that would save you some time. But now all we need to do is click a button, and this computer program does everything for us. And puts down all the first downs and everything else. And
all right, let's just get to it. They put up 56 points. You lose to Case Western.
Yeah.
Little over 300 total offensive yards. Landon Smith had a century mark carrying the football. His brother on the defensive side, the safety, led your defense with tackles 7. So just a few statistics, but they just under 500 yards of offense. So you're getting in these slugfest.
I wouldn't call that one a slugfest.
No, brother. I know. I'm trying to be kind because I love it. And I know how difficult this is for you. But what can you do to kind of shut the spigot off? Yeah.
Well, I think we look at that, and there were a couple of questions that came to. Number one, why were we giving up so many big plays?
Yeah.
I mean, that was obvious. Number two, offensively, can we convert on some things? And then number three was, hey, you put the ball on the ground as many times as we did. And in that situation, it happened. I mean, we were down 28-0 in the first quarter. Now, let me tell you the difference between us and Georgia being down 28-0 in the first quarter. All right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not Georgia. So when I went home that night and I looked and I saw Alabama would put 28 on Georgia right like that quick.
With a 17-year-old wide receiver.
With a 17-year-old wide receiver. I actually texted the whole staff and said, man, it happens. It happens. And that game was a series of, we made a couple of mistakes on our punt coverage as far as blocking the right thing. And we didn't block it. Mistake was made, blocked punt. Fumble ball. Another fumble. Pass. We're down 28.
Can't happen.
Well, I think the thing that we went through, I went through this, as coaches, and looked and I said, all right, number one, from what we try to do is for number one, stop the run. For the most part, except for maybe 2 plays, there was one big one where we lined up wrong. I was just looking at our guys, and they were playing hard. And I think we did a decent job against that. Not giving up big plays. As coaches, we may have had too much in for the experience level that we have right now. Like maybe if we had kept it more simple, I still think that team is outstanding, really outstanding. And we just didn't handle the fact that we got punched in the mouth 4 times right away.
Well, listen, you know that I'm out all the time interviewing everybody. We have later today Johnny McCouga. Tomorrow, Ryan Lynn, Lou Ciro. It just never ends. Mr. Lynn, Moon Township, the Power Bowser Friday night game. TJ Plack, Peters Township, their opponent. Peters Township loses to Upper St. Clair, Coach Junko. And Coach Render was in the house, and it happened to be the night that that program won their 500th game. So why am I saying all of this? Because I really want to be a recruiter for Geneva. I really want people from Western Pennsylvania to understand this is the school, this is the place. And I think sometimes because of all of the splash plays that are made covering all of our favorites, that Geneva doesn't get its rightful place, because this is a great atmosphere. Obviously, the faith-based education, but Reeve Stadium is a tremendous place. The facilities are great. And I truly believe when you look at Geneva's success that they had with you early, during my childhood at times, there was a lot of WPIL players that were coming here. What do you think you need to do? And I'll do anything you ask me to do, Coach.
I know you would.
But to let people know that you should consider coming here. And realistic, you may be thinking Division I AA, Division I, but in the big picture, only a chosen few, like that 17-year-old.
Right.
I mean, Ryan Williams for Alabama. That just doesn't happen. So what do we do to promote this incredible school?
Well, I will tell you that I think there is a new approach that we have. Very, very encouraged by what Dr. Traup's doing in terms of marketing, in terms of hiring people that understand marketing. And we've got a pretty good team. Getting the word out to all of the big schools, let's call it what it is. If you want to get a 6A kid in your program and get it from winning programs, then you're going to end up winning. I mean, I look back at those years, all the years that we won, we had kids from winning programs. And it's not that the kids that we have now, aren't from winning programs. It's just the more mature, better quality of a freshman coming in. I will tell you, the last two recruiting classes, we've had some really good freshmen. We just haven't been able to retain them. And so what you had Saturday is you had everybody back for Case and a lot of fifth-year kids, a lot of grad students. And I remember when we played fifth-year kids, that was what we did for 20 years.
I remember.
We would do that. And it was the model that the colleges always used in recruiting at the higher levels and whatever. It was like, you get a kid, like we had Major Harris as a quarterback at West Virginia. He redshirted his freshman year. And then he became, it's just.
Took him to that national championship game.
He did. So Rob,
I just want people to experience it and at least visit, come and walk the campus. And I'm telling you, it'll change your whole outlook.
Well, the two games that we've played here at home, okay, the atmosphere that we had, and it was Teal Saturday night, your guys at KDK too,
Plus, yeah,
they did.
Awesome.
They're just incredible. Awesome. They're unbelievable. And in homecoming, I mean, we got 4,500 people in the stands that got a chance to see how I ruined it, But it is an incredible atmosphere. The quality of education, that is the thing that I think people in the tri-state area really, really don't understand about Geneva. And that's the one thing that in my heart, I believe needs to be put out there more. And we are, but for so many years, we would not tell anybody about it. And I would have people come on campus and talk about what, a hidden treasure this is as far as getting an education, playing football with, people in Western PA. This is a big deal.
Well, let's play on this a little bit too. Beaver Falls, okay? So I'm at the Larry Bruno Foundation for a very long day that went into the night last week. Judge Mancini actually came and did a little interview with me. He was a coach here at Beaver Falls Reeve Stadium, played here during his heyday of Larry Bruno, went on to play at Louisville, Namath. There's a lot of tradition. I would say that I don't know any other school in Western Pennsylvania, and there's been some good ones, but that have this much history, tradition, when you think of high school football and players that have played here, whether they're a member of Beaver Falls or not, Geneva or not, right here at Reese.
Oh, that have played on this field?
Yeah.
I would agree with you. You just go through it over the years and just the tradition. The toughest thing, Rob, is this. Sometimes you get caught in tradition. Sometimes you get caught in thinking about that, right?
Too much.
The kids today that are recruiting, what they're looking for is, you've seen the facilities at the 6A schools. They're just outstanding. The Peters Township, the high school that they built.
Beautiful.
Let's call it what it is. And not only are the schools in the pack recruiting these students, but these students are being heavily recruited by Penn State.
Yep.
And that has been the biggest change over the years for me, is that you will have football players at big schools that have played high school football, and they get an opportunity to go to Penn State, and they're not going to play football. They're going there as a student for.
Well, you know who else is kind of having the same problem? It's Coach Narduzzi at Pitt, Penn State, Tyke Hayes. Alec Whipper, and he's been here, Coach Franklin. And when Pitt was in their heyday, they were getting the Tony Dorsetts who played on this field against Beaver Falls. Look, all I'm saying is just lean in a little bit and see what this place has to offer. Because it is about 60 minutes of football on any given Saturday. But the reality of it is it's life long after football.
It is hard. That's hard to articulate in a marketing program. And it's really hard to message that to 18-year-old men, 18-year-old,
young men. So kind of in closing, say if you had some corporate entity, some alum who said, hey, I want to help, get that tradition going again. Now that the name, image, and likeness is out there, is this stuff possible?
Well, we'll tell you, at Division III, it's going to happen. It's happening at some places.
Right.
It really is. I think mainly at Division III, what you've seen is the next escalation of just the facilities. If we would go to the state of Wisconsin and look to see what facilities are there at that UW system, we're talking about students with 12,000, 13,000, and the stadiums and everything. That's like, so in Division III, you've got this state-run organization, and then you got this private school. Small private schools. We've played two. I want you to know now, we've played two schools already that have endowments that are larger than 9 of the SEC schools. But they choose to play Division III football. It is really
staggering.
It's staggering. And you know what? I'm going to capitalist, and I'm not going to complain about it. But is it a level playing field? You know what?
Listen,
we were winning in the NAI, and we won in the transition years of going to D3. And I'm not going to say one way or the other, because at that time there were other people saying, "Well, Geneva has it all, and we don't." That's not the case here. There are some things that are going to be happening. They're going to be very, very good, but we just need
help.
We need to get kids in, honestly, and we need a head coach that's just not going to make stupid decisions on putting too much in for young guys who can't handle it.
Well, it all begins, let's say, week 1 at St. Vincent. So
yeah, this is. It is. This is something that we learn. I got texts from everybody and like, burn the tape, don't show the kids the tape, do this, do that. Boy, you guys.
You are one of the most resilient people I know, and I know that God has a lot to do with that. But St. Vincent is God's country, Latrobe.
Oh, that's incredible.
It is. It's beautiful up there.
I'm going to say this. I know this goes out to everywhere. I don't know how. Like Westmoreland County, okay?
Gateway to the West.
It's incredible.
It is.
It is just incredible.
I love it.
They got an incredible campus. They've got an airport right there. But I'll still
Palmer Airport.
Yeah, I'll still take this.
So, you just try to like execute better? I mean, I know, but how do you even plan after somebody rocks you for 56 points? I mean, what are you working on?
Yeah. I texted one of my former players who happens to be coaching for the Super Bowl champions. He says, "Hey, tough one. Concentrate on the positive and just keep working."
Yeah.
And it was that simple. I mean, and truthfully, those are the things that he was taught when he was here. And now he kind of, as a coach, is telling me, "Hey, coach, just..."
Guess what I had a thought of the other day? If I could ever get Render back down here again, maybe we could, like, you know, put him on the staff just to work part-time or something, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He just makes me smile. And Coach Platt, Peters Township, in that neighborhood, just a stone's throw from the school,
right,
living next door to each other, you've got Jim Render and John Banaszak.
Yeah.
And Banny, look what happened to Robert Morris.
Right.
God bless him. But look what he did at W&J.
Well, I think that's
So
a
it's
really
kind of a
good.
similar thing
I think
here.
it's a similar situation.
Yes.
I mean, Banny had really great success at W&J, and you know,
It wasn't any different as a coach. It just cycles. It's what it is, man.
it is. And the thing though that we're trying to instill in our guys is this. So you got punched in the mouth. They put 56 on you during homecoming.
Oh,
So what are you going to do about it? Rob, what are we going to do? You know, we're going to go in a corner and sit down and cry and just, you know.
you got to keep moving.
No, you got to keep. You just got to keep
But
fighting.
all that stuff about it's just a game. Come on, we're from New Brighton.
It's more than that.
We can't wait to get back on the field.
You do. You just can't wait to get the kids to respond. Well, we're going to be okay. We're going to be fine.
I do a lot of the similar things in my life. I think because we're type A. Like if I messed up on the air or mispronounced, I go right back to it.
It is.
You have to.
The greatest thing about coaching football is the next game. It's the next game. It's just, do I got somebody to prepare for? Do we got a football team? Do we got a group of coaches and players that we can now focus ahead on? And that is the greatest thing. The toughest thing is, you know, right after the loss, there's that period of like, whatever people call it, you know, every coach 24-hour rule, this, that, and the other. And there's nothing like getting in here early. I mean, really early, Monday morning.
You're early.
And just like, here we go, guys. And you know, we're on another mission.
And for everybody, and I have a lot of friends who follow me in West Virginia and Eastern Ohio, you know, you're playing down there in either, you know, Hancock County or Columbiana County in Ohio, Hancock, of course, in West Virginia. And maybe you're seeing this place for the first time. If you're a player, you may want to reach out.
Yeah, those kids play hard. I got to tell you something. So often we talk about the tri-state area and we talk about Western PA. We talk about, you know, what's going on right over there across the border in Ohio, but we leave out what's happening down in West Virginia. And I was so blessed to be able to be down at WVU for 2 years and got a chance to see just the people of West Virginia and what they bring. I mean, they embody everything. Tough. Those kids would fit absolutely perfectly in our system. They would.
I believe in you, and I think sooner or later it will happen. We just have to keep moving forward. That's simple as that, right?
Yeah.
That's what they've been telling me for 20 years. Just keep.
I mean, here's the thing.
30 years, whatever.
We don't know how to quit. I mean, there's just not, it's just, so.
I just like promoting and what we're doing at Odyssey at KDK, and I'm a little biased. It's the best thing going for you. You're a high school sports fan. I mean, we even have Pitt volleyball on the radio coming up, and they're like in the nation. So I'm loving it. We've got, you know, the Pitt Panthers in North Carolina this week. Obviously, the Pirates, we wish they would fare a little bit better. But I mean, we're doing some really cool things. But this thing about community and high school football, names like Allegheny Health Network and Highmark and Jimmy Cristiano, who just got licensed as an NFL agent, M7. I mean, and there's so many more, but it's just, it's a good thing, this whole football thing.
Well, Rob, I got to ask this because the KDK Plus thing
that's
is
the television, right?
Right. That's the television part of it.
They were at W&J
interesting.
last week. Yeah.
It's interesting on what they're doing. Like they're going to have a high school game every week. They got this thing going with the colleges. it is really, really is a good marketing idea. Like,
And we got this little quest for the best tonight. You know, Dan Zangrilli, Mike White. I mean, it's football. It's community. It's what it's about. And that's what was here, those 4,500 in the stands. Geneva will, even if you're not from Beaver County, you'll feel like you're a part of the community once you attend the school. Thanks, Coach.
Oh, Rob, thank you again.
I'm off to New Brighton.
Go, man.
All right.
Go Lions.
Here we go.